real. They talk. Man, I bet that's what that guy's $4,050 poster was that he got off that auction.
And maybe we'll even...
My little pony. Ah.
Oh no! Brony!
Yeah, I just picked up Pinkie Pie and Twilight Sparkle to add to the collection.
The collection?
I know just where I'm gonna put them.
Put me anywhere, just not next to the flashlight.
I'm out.
Oh no. Ew. He's getting Cheeto dust in my mane. He smells like Ball's energy drink.
In episode 7, you won 35 consecutive games of tic-tac-toe against a rarity.
Is that true?
Flashlight for best pony!
Oh, sweet Jesus.
What did you just watch?
Well, the My Little Brony video from College Humor.
An ignorant, judgmental society's take on bronies.
I kind of felt like I watched a really, really X-rated Toy Story blooper or something.
I don't know. What did I just watch?
I mean, the plot summary would just be a big, fat, nerdy, awkward guy who loves ponies too much, has a giant collection, and introduces a couple more to them.
The videos was actually funny.
With kinky results.
Something horrifying, or not horror, I don't know, it was pretty funny, I guess.
Their interpretation of what a brony is.
Irrelevant, guys, check it out. I grew my neck beard out just for you.
Are you familiar with College Humor and their videos?
I am actually, I love the College Humor.
I don't really go out of my way to go to their site and look at their stuff.
I wouldn't call myself a religious devotee, but definitely familiar with the stuff that they put out.
I've seen their videos.
They're not that bad, they're quite funny.
Most of them I have enjoyed.
They have one of the funniest videos of all time. It's called Batman Vanishing.
A little bit. I used to watch a lot of College Humor stuff like 3 or 4 years ago.
Harvey Dent. Can he be trusted?
Somewhat, I've seen a few, I watched a few, they're pretty hilarious. I know, that one was hilarious and traumatizing at the same time, and I'm not even sure what I think of myself anymore.
Well, they're funny sometimes, but I really love like their stuff with Jackie and Amir. They're really funny. I don't know, I mean, they're usually all about stereotypes and stuff like that.
They all seem sort of crude, and anybody can be funny when they're crude. You know, it doesn't take much effort to be funny when you're just making fun of something.
Were you offended from watching this video?
Hell yeah, I was offended. I mean, they played freaking G1 music during the intro when it's supposed to be, I used to wonder what French could be, son. Man.
I thought it was pretty funny, and I don't know, I can see why a lot of people would be offended. I wasn't myself, it's like whatever.
More so kind of, I guess, bored, because the stereotypes they were hitting on have been beaten to death so thoroughly, and through other fandoms at that.
It's hard not to be, stereotypes are offensive. Although College Humor is rarely flattering, they're equal opportunity jerks.
There's so much material to rip on with bronies, and you chose the most simple and obvious one.
Not the first time we've seen this representation of bronies.
It felt like a waste.
No, I wasn't offended by this video. It's just them trying to poke a little bit of fun at us.
It's meant to be funny, it's meant to poke fun. And I mean, the first time I saw this video, I was actually laughing pretty good. I mean, I was rolling my eyes at most of it, but you know, I was still laughing.
Don't be offended by that, it's just parody.
Was I offended when I watched this video? To be perfectly honest with you, no, not at all. I thought it was hilarious.
I found it funny because, you know, as a stereotypic, it's kind of true, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I still laugh at that. And the reason I'm saying this, the stereotype is kind of true because what people, you know, assume it is.
If we can't laugh at ourselves, then who can we laugh at, right? Even though this is obviously not the mainstream of what we're about.
Yes, I was offended! I'm gonna write an angry letter right now. Dear College Humor, you can go f yourselves. Sincerely, me! But no, I honestly wasn't too upset. It was a funny video.
Is there any truth in what the video represents?
Probably. I mean, I don't doubt that there are bronies like that out there. I don't doubt that there are people like that out there. So, I mean, certainly, yeah. I mean, every fandom has its dark corners too, so there are bound to be a few people like that.
Ooh, Celestia, I hope not. Except for the collecting ponies thing and the slang. The Cheetos.
Kind of does have a lot of represents to what we do. Like, honestly, whenever I see a new episode or a new toy or just like, seriously, I'm like, oh my god, it's new.
You know, you can always see things like that in the fandom, in any fandom.
I'm not gonna lie, I have seen some bronies like that, especially at the BronyCon I went to, but hey, I know you guys are great for yourself in person.
Kind of. I mean, there are guys like that in the fandom, in any fandom. It just comes with the territory of being a nerd.
Alarmingly, maybe just this much. Not a whole bunch, but just at least a little tiny bit of truth in this. I mean, it's only funny because we either assume it's true, know it's true, or perceive it to be true.
Not all of us are like that. I mean, my fingers aren't crusted in Cheeto dust. Yet.
You can't have a completely fictional situation that's funny. It has to have some point of reference. And on some level, we have to believe that this is true in order for us to find it funny.
Enthusiasm about the show is there, that people are actually singing, you know, the theme song and are together in literally about the whole harmony thing when it comes to the show itself.
This doesn't represent one guy does not represent the entire fandom.
It might look like the stereotype, but I don't think it was any as weird as that.
I don't put Cheetos on my fingers and mess up my beautiful pony's mane.
If he really existed, would we bronies love and tolerate him?
I would think that the better majority of bronies who get really bent out of shape about this thing, especially about someone being as open as they are about it, will, as you say, love and tolerate the crap out of them.
Well, I would hope we would. I mean, we wouldn't be bronies if we didn't. We'd probably even start a charity drive to get him the therapy he needs.
The sizable amount of bronies will really care. They'll just disregard him and move along with their daily lives.
If by love you mean spray him with deodorant, and by tolerate you mean beat him with soap bars, and yes, we would. We'd love and tolerate him.
I mean, if he makes sizable problems, like jumps up on the Jerry Springer show, then hell yeah, but I mean, for the most part, most of us are just gonna be like, what the hell ever.
Hell yeah, we would. Just another guy, maybe into different things, do different things, like different things, whatever. If we couldn't do that, then our fandom is broken.
Sometimes I think our fandom gets really concerned about small things, like one person, individuals, and I think that if we could just not worry about this one person, maybe not necessarily love and tolerate, but just ignore, just forget.
The point of the fandom, man, you gotta remember, stick to your roots.
I would hope that we would just be able to move on and not give him much attention.
I'm sure to a certain extent, yeah, we probably would.
If that particular person would exist, I have to admit, and I would feel too creeped out to even talk to this, you know, kind of person.
The problem is, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that really interacts with the fandom at large.
Lauren Fast, I'm coming to get you with my flashlight.
So I think this profile, the profile that the individual we're talking about, is a little too much of a shut-in to really branch out and reach for anybody outside himself.
Well, if he really existed, I'd show him my special way of loving and tolerating. By cooking him a nutritious meal so we can talk about it.
Why is the fandom so often perceived and portrayed like this by outsiders?
People are uncomfortable with things they don't understand.
Because we're such an anomaly. I mean, you have, like, the Star Trek people who it's like, if a girl shows up, people are like, whoa! That girl likes Star Trek! That's out of the ordinary! Because it's defying a gender definition.
For those who haven't seen the show, it's probably the only way they can justify our behavior. And I'm not saying I agree with them, but have you seen the previous generations?
But with My Little Pony, it's the exact same thing, but in reversed, it's like, Mother of God, that man likes My Little Pony.
Most people, when they think of bronies, they don't really think of like the most physically active or anything like that. They just think of neckbeards on the computer, World of Warcraft players. And I'm not gonna lie, we do have a lot of those, but majority, from what I've seen, aren't like that at all. They're all cool people, nice, normal, average Joes. They're not gonna be all obsessive and creepy.
People are automatically assuming either A, he's gay, B, he's emotionally distraught, or C, he's sick and masturbates to ponies, which in this case is what the video is portraying.
Hey, that guy likes My Little Pony. He's a total gay fag.
Bronies come in all shapes and sizes and all genders and all ages, but a lot of outsiders won't take the time to really get to know our fandom and how it acts.
I understand now, especially during that Howard Stern interview.
I have a real big fucking gripe with this shit.
It's like Tara Strong said in her tweet, just if what you do in your business, just spare private time, don't tell any media that.
If we were dealing with this same character and it were Warhammer figurines, anime figurines, hentai, even hentai stuff, diecast cars, magic cards, sports figures, any other sort of memorabilia, we would just write this off as business as usual. We would say, there's nothing odd here, that's just some nerdy guy collecting nerdy shit.
My Little Pony, the one I knew from the 80s, from the 90s, that show was a show that was for selling little girl toys. And it didn't look like any fun to watch. It was a show for little girls.
I think people just really have a difficult time grappling with this idea that there are perfectly reasonable people who think this is cool, who think this is fun. And when people don't understand things, especially when they don't understand why something's fun, our first instinct is to condemn it.
That's, I think, why everyone now, they haven't given this show a chance, and yet they're saying, well, My Little Pony, it is a show for little girls. Where nowadays, My Little Pony is a show for the whole family.
A good philosophy that says if you want to undermine something, you need to support it with false pretenses. And that's exactly what stuff like this does. It's not saying, oh, bronies suck, bronies are bad, bronies are people. It's supporting us by producing an artificial stereotype to try and say, oh yes, good, they're such subversive, interesting people, but interesting in a bad way.
We're into different stuff, and therefore people will think little of us for it. They'll think, what the hell are you guys into?
I just think people are uncomfortable. They don't know what to make of this. And so they're just gonna take cheap shots at us, however they fucking can. Because when they can do that, they don't have to think about it anymore. They just put up the fucking wall, and then suddenly the blinders are on, don't have to give it any thought, don't have to give it any legitimacy, don't have to consider, it's really unfortunate because there's so many other fandoms that get 10 times more street cred than we do that aren't nearly as accomplished or varied or talented that we are. And that's not even me being conceited, that's just me being honest.
People who, through Facebook, saw that I make music, so they asked me why I have so many pony images in my work. So I explained to them that about a year ago, there was a series that did some kind of reboot, My Little Pony, and it was a show that they perceived by little girls and everything as something that was for them. But the internet picked it up. Many people started to like it, and I wanted to see what's so good about this thing, so I liked it too. And I decided to make music about it, and this is the reason why I was in PonyCon, and I appeared live on stage in front of many people.
The whole fandom is great. I love it. I just want to let you know that I feel very welcomed. I know there's been ups and downs, but I love it. I love this fandom.
My Little fucking Pony. Seriously, this is not a way to explain any different unless you actually explain the whole story about how it became to be that most people like you watch it.
But I don't think we're anything like the way they portrayed us. Motherfucking Cheetos!
Do you like Cheetos?
No.
Yes, I do. I love Cheetos. My fat kid loves them.
Of course not. No. Ew.
Yes, I do love Cheetos. Me and my friend Hoot joke constantly about filling a small kid's pool with Cheetos. And this is a dream I one day hope to accomplish. I will go out and buy an inflatable pool and fill it to the brim with Cheetos.
It's nice.
This is a good dream.
Do I like Cheetos? If they still sold them here, I would. You don't even know.
Good sir, what self-respecting human being does not like Cheetos?
Yes, I do like Cheetos. Mwah.
I ask you, I implore you, who doesn't like Cheetos?
Ow!
Corn products covered in cheese. I mean, that's America. That's America right there.
I love Cheetos! They're delicious!
What would you suggest to anyone offended by this?
To anybody who's offended by this,
don't take it too seriously.
The only advice I can really offer is not to really take it to heart.
Just laugh at it. I mean, we know these people are out there. We can't pretend they're not. They're there. They exist.
It's a college humor video. It's going to be crude. It's probably going to be offensive to the parties whom it's satirizing or criticizing. And I mean, there's really no two ways about it.
The best possible thing we can do is just laugh it off and say, well, yep, that happens.
If you are getting like so bent out of shape and so upset over a college humor video that, I mean, that you've taken some of the action that some of these people have, then you're just doing damage to yourself. I mean, yeah, it's taboo and we're not all like that, but at the end of the day, hey, it's college humor.
Gotta learn not to get frustrated by these things and not to care about what other people think of you, especially people like this. I mean, why does their opinion matter? You know who you are, I know who I am, and I'm perfectly happy with it.
You know yourself, you aren't like that. Or if you are, well hey, okay, we should all learn to laugh at ourselves sometime.
The biggest defense anyone can have is the ability to laugh at yourself.
Just love and tolerance all day, man.
If you're able to laugh at yourself, then almost nothing can get to you.
It is offensive. I can see why you would be very offended by that, because people are poking fun at things that you may or may not be into. Obviously, ponies being the most predominant thing there.
It's just, like I said before, poking fun.
I suggest don't get offended.
If you go mad about this thing, I mean, what does it say about us? Does it say that we are just too picky about what everyone says about us?
Ignore it and move on.
It's a fandom. I mean, it's like laughing at people that watch anime. It's like laughing at people who play games all the time. Or it's like laughing about people that do this and that. You cannot be avoided, and the best thing you can do right now is just to accept that there's going to be always people that are going to say something bad about us. That's it. I mean, just accept it. Accept and like the moral goes, love and tolerate everyone.
Laugh at it! Enjoy it! Giggle at the ghosties! Chuckle at the other ghost! But seriously, don't take it seriously. Life is full of people making fun of you, the way you look, the way you might be portrayed, but in all honesty, just laugh. Enjoy it. Just chuckle at it. If you don't have a sense of humor, life is going to be very tough on you. When I was at my college university studying political science, I learned from other kids in the class that some kids would get really offended by others from their points of view, by their beliefs. I live by the philosophy that as long as you're not hurting anybody else, who cares? This video is just a video. It's just a portrayal, and you know what? It's not true. So you know what? I laugh at it, because there are times when it's like, not all bronies eat Cheetos, but some of them do, like me. No, I'm not going to eat it. That'd be gross.